Right, okay, let's make a start then. I sent out an agenda a couple of days ago, and not much on it. Well, there was quite a lot on it, but not many items on it. And the first one was really just to have a sort of look at where we've got with the new members website. I put up version 14.3 into everybody's test site. Most of you are still on 14.2, so as you're from your live system, so you don't have access to that, the live system yet, but you can go to 14.3 whenever you like. So you in your test system, you can turn off and turn on the new system as you want to. You don't have to have it on, and you can do that with the live system as well. So if we do move you across to 14.3, you can turn it off and not use it, but you would have access to Web Creator, which will enable you to get the pages done that you want to do before you switch it on for everybody else. So maybe you won't do that in the test, but in the live system, you might want to make all your web pages right first before you do it. So really, just want to start off to sort of say what, just some feedback and what people think and what problems they may have in terms of getting 14.3 up and whether it's working okay, whether they got any errors or queries or so. What do you want to say?
Well, as far as Wrexham goes, we've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and the hiccups you sorted out today is working well, Chris.
You're using it live, aren't you? You're using it 14.3 and using it for your live people.
Yeah.
So
and then we're adding better web pages as we go along.
Right. Yes, and you have had one or two little issues and things which we've, as you say, we've sorted out along the way.
Yeah.
How's it gone down, Alan, with the members?
Well, I told all the trustees first. They didn't seem to take a lot of interest, but the members seem to like it, and to me, that's more important.
Oh, right, that's quite reassuring. That is, because I'm bothered about that.
Yeah, no, the members seem to like it.
Right, good.
One or two took an interest. Yes, one or two are actually helping me because I can say, well, come round and I'll show you how to web page, how to use it. Now I've had to go myself,
Yeah.
So at long last, after asking for 2 years, I might get some help.
So are people planning to do sort of train their members with it or before making it go live?
I was going to introduce it to some to see what issues they've got, because it's such a change for most of them if they use a laptop.
Yeah, we were going to do some training for group leaders particularly.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, most of the processing, if you like, in the new system is to do with group leaders being able to do it in there. The actual members part of it is probably quite simple, much simpler.
Well, I think it looks simple, but that's not what a lot of people think, I think.
No, it's new, and therefore it's new to everybody. People don't like new stuff, so
not that keen on the old stuff sometimes. I like the new stuff.
So what plans do people have to install it or test it or whatever? Or how many have tested it at the moment?
Well, I have, but only I'm not extensively. But I mean, I've made the web pages, so it's actually got a working in the test system.
Barry, you were sort of saying you were trying to get it going a couple of.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to follow the instructions. Sorry, I'm coming from ground zero on this one. I've tried to follow the instructions to switch. You switch it on using the mobile site, but I can't find.
Well,
where is it?
At the moment you're on 14.2, so that's from the live. So that's the live system. So it's not available on that system yet.
Okay.
So in order to you've got the mobile system, which has been available for some years. That's still on 14.2. But it's the new members site that's which is on 14.3. So so if you're ready to have a go at it and want to and do it, and you want to do it on the live system, then we want to put you across to 14.3 if that's what
Well, you do that, do you?
I put it across there.
Oh, I see. No wonder I couldn't do it.
Yes, no, that's it's fine.
Right.
Yes, so but if you want to have a look at it on your test system first before you do that,
Yes.
because you
How
can't
How
obviously.
do I access the test system?
How do you access the test system?
Yeah.
It's basically it's your domain name, and then I'll tell you,
Format in front of it.
I'll send you an email to link to it, a link to it. So okay, so what about testing it in the test system? Have people used it there?
I'm having, well, I switched it on, so every time I go into it, I get a new page, but it's just the creating new pages. I seem to be getting either stuck or such like, so I will persevere, but I will be releasing the new one, but not straight away.
No, I'm not. I'm sure most will take it as a softly sort of thing. One of the
I've set
suggestions.
up the pages on the test system pretty much as it should be, and I'm going to get the board members to sign in and have a play with it and then see what they think of it.
Ah, right, good, yes. And have you experienced any difficulties?
No, once you get in the swing of getting the pages, if it's okay, quite happy with it.
That's basically what we're doing, Chris. We're beating it well, I'm beating it to death in the test system, and then going to show the committee, what's what, how they do things, but then we will see what the rest of the committee think.
Right.
I thought I'd let the board leave it to them and see what they think of it. I won't tell them anything first, because the members themselves are just going to be thrown in the deep end. And if they have a problem with it, we can perhaps get some instructions for all the members, but I was going to take it that way.
Yeah.
Right. A couple of things is we've got a transition. It's our AGM today, and Philip Eckstein on the call is taking over from me. So we're going to probably defer going to 14.3 live for a number of weeks or months until we have the new committee in place, really. But a couple of questions on that, Chris. First is, what we're doing is thinking of switching off the mobile and then going live just with that configuration.
Yep.
Nothing else needs to happen if that's all we're doing, is there? If we go live on the current website rather than the new website.
So if you leave it at 14.2.
No, go on to 14.3, but
Okay.
with the legacy, the old website only.
And leave the mobile system up for the time being.
We're going to take that down just so that we're only developing one set of new pages, really.
Righto. Okay.
Well, there's no need to take that down now, is there, Chris? You can leave that alone, really, and just leave it
Yeah, but
alone.
it's just part of the transition, really.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not. It's no use it being introduced to the new administrator and the new committee because it's just been disconnected anyway.
Right.
But other than that particular configuration, we don't need to do anything else to effectively go to 14.3 on the old website, do we?
No. There is one issue which came up this week, which I've got to deal with, to do with subscriptions and the link that's sent out for subscriptions to pay. And if you stay on the old system, then it had been changed so that when you send out a link for someone to click on to pay their subscription fee, it went to the new website
Okay.
to try and pay.
That's group subs, is that? Group subs.
Yes. Yeah, group subs. Yeah.
We don't use those. That's okay. So my second question is, I heard that if we develop the new pages, who was it saying who was developing the pages? I can't remember now. Sorry. But
Dave has done this work on.
Can we just copy and paste the HTML from the source? Is that a reliable way of doing it?
I started from fresh, really. And then once I got the hang of it, I realised that you could jump in the system details on the live system, just twiddle a few things there if you want to.
But if we choose to build them on the test system, can we then just copy and paste the source? Will that work?
Yeah.
You can do that way, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's there anyway.
Yeah.
You
You
actually
could,
update-
sorry.
You're actually updating the source in the in the test system on the main page.
Yeah, but the test pages won't be available live, will they?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Is that what you want to do? Switch old test into live that way?
No. We're happy going on to live, but we want to continue developing with the web creator in the test environment.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're happy, you can copy it across, cut and
Yeah.
paste the source.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yes, okay, thank you.
As far as I know, Tony, if you were to copy and paste the HTML, the only thing you've got to look for is when you've got Ahrefs. So if you've got links out to other places.
Links, yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, some of them you might need to adjust.
It was just the frames really to make sure that would all work.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yes, it will. But of course, you can go to 14.3 and turn off the new system, and then still set up the new pages.
Yeah. So that was part one. That was what we're going to do. Yes.
In the live system, you don't have to go to the. You could set them up in live because nobody will see them.
Oh, I see. Of course you can. Yeah.
And so you wouldn't have to copy them across. But either way, we'll do it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Good. Thank you.
Can I just add one thing, Chris? It's very useful to have the help button on the blue bar at the top. So I've got a lady put all the help notes up there, and they're available to the public and the members. And she's explained everything on one button. Now, I used to have loads of web links to do that before. It's very cluttered up. But perhaps not everyone will realise that you've got to add that help button to your system before you can use it.
Yes, so well, nobody knows it exists except you and I. So what there is in the latest version, there is a new page, if you like, in systems details called help. And if you populate help, then when you start going into the members system, a help entry will appear on the top line there, and will just show that page. But if you haven't populated it, it just doesn't show it. So it doesn't exist. So if you don't want it, you don't need to. But if you do want to, like Alan's using it, I think quite extensively, then you just stick it in that page, and it'll come up on it.
Does that replace the welcome page? Originally, it was the welcome page.
Yeah, well, no, that's right. Although the welcome page originally was only to help with login. So when you click the login button, the little help came up. Now,
Yes.
So this is a help that's there available all the time.
Oh, right. Because I've been using. Right. I changed the welcome page to be a help. I'll switch it round now.
Yes.
Which U3A is Alan?
The reason why the reason why it's gone back to a new one is because people still use the welcome page for other things. So it was gonna confuse. So that's why I've got a new one called help. Sorry, Tony.
I wonder if we could see that. Alan, what's your U3A if you've got it available to visitors?
Wrexham with a W with the top football clean. Football.
Of course, I know Wrexham. I'm in Chester. I know.
Well, there you go.
Okay, right. I'll have a look. Thank you.
Yeah, and of course it's there for the public. And if you want the login, I can give you one.
No, I'll find it. Thank you.
Now, one of the things that for people who are really starting this from scratch, I wonder what I was going to suggest or talk about really was whether or not you'd like a training session on the web page creator, which, purely to generate some pages on it, just to put a bit of detail around it, so that, and make it an interactive session, so people can say, well, what I want to achieve is this, or what I'd like is that, and we could try and build some pages, and if we build some sort of generic pages, we could then perhaps make them into a sort of library that people could select. At the moment, there's a default that goes in when you set up the creator. Well, if we could generate some ones, then they could be there as to start with, so people could start amending them and changing them if they want to. So I don't know. It's if people want it, I'm quite happy to do it.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Always useful, that sort of thing.
Well, I think, unfortunately, I've been away for quite a long time. So I'm really sort of at ground zero, as somebody said. So I think I would very much welcome that, because now I'm back. I've just got to try and get my head around the whole thing and all your emails and the recordings. So yes, please.
Yes. Okay. Right. Fine. I will.
Yes, please.
Chris, can I ask about that help? Because did you say if anything was on that page, a button would appear?
Yes.
Well,
It didn't for me.
well, I've just looked at U3 Wrexham now. I can see the help button, but Alan, you might want to look at that page, especially your latest news block. You might need to format the third line of text. Well, on my screen you do.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. It's
Chris, was the help page in everybody's system? It doesn't seem to be
Well,
in mine.
it may not have gone up into the. It won't be in the live system. It will only be in the test system.
Okay.
And because it's definitely in 14.3. So it could be
Not in
obviously.
14.3 live.
It could well be that there has been a subsequent thing which is not in 14.3. Possibly, Richard, you might not have it because you had a 14.3 earlier than it was, and maybe you need it. So that probably applies to Laurie and Alan as well, I would think. So I'll check your systems and make certain you've got the latest version. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
There's no rush. I'm not sure I'm going to use it.
Yeah. Well, it's there if you want it. So yes. Set it up. Set that thing up for a couple of hours, and where we just sort of.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Fine. Okay. Right. Okay. I will do that. Okay. So.
And presumably it'll be recorded, will it?
Yes, yes, yeah. We'll make certain it's recorded as well, and yeah, and we could go through all the little bits and all the intricacies of it as well, and how to the images and where they are and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, we can do the whole thing. Right. Okay. So, anything else on 14.3 web creator members website? Right. Okay. So the other thing which I wanted to do today was to talk about the obviously not much has been changed in the system in the last 6 months because of the all the work on this. So I wanted to sort of just talk about a development plan and what other things that people think are urgent to do, and so I made a list of things that have come to me in various sources over the last sort of few months, so what I wanted to do was go through this list here and get a feel for people's how important, what the priority on a particular item should be, or any additional things that we want to sort of put into it at the same time, as if we're doing something on venues booking, for instance. What is the things that should be done other than this list here, if that's one of the ones that are chosen? So top of the list there was the use of SMS. I think there's only Causeway and Crew are using it, and it was at the moment you can only use it for groups. And this was a suggestion that we make it available on a like bulk email as well, so that you can send out SMSs through bulk email if you wish.
That would be very helpful, Chris. At the moment, we've set up, I think, 4 groups, so we can send out to our 1,400 members.
Yeah, I was thinking we had a case where we wanted to contact people that hadn't done something urgently. That was why I suggested it.
So you can use the report writer to select people
select the people who want to do, yes.
And then that creates a list of people you want to send the message to.
Am I correct in thinking that if you were to do a bulk SMS, let's say you were doing it to 500 people, each SMS carries a cost, so it would be the cost times 500. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It cost about 15 quid, that I should think, to send that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot cheaper than postage. You just want somebody quick.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
particularly people who
wouldn't
don't
the
tend to look at their
WhatsApp group-
emails. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wouldn't a WhatsApp group be cheaper?
Blimey, I'm not having one of them. So.
But I think, Tim, I think what Neil's suggesting is you're able to run a report and select various people out, and that might be a bit more difficult on a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, but then surely SMS is almost for very urgent, quick messages. If
Yes.
you've got to go get into the system, do the report, blah, blah, you could just type it out in WhatsApp and just send it.
Yeah, but that will go to everybody.
Yeah, well,
Well, that's 1,500 in our case, which I don't really want to do.
or you could just do it by, yeah, okay. I mean, it just seems,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not a high priority, but it would just have
No.
been nice in the circumstance we had the other day.
Nice
that
to
was
have,
all.
yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. Right. So the next thing on the list was at the moment there are a list of templates that are available for various different reports. Various different emails, and I think it was Alan who started off sort of suggesting that maybe there are new ones that people could use. And I think you did a complete review of it at one point.
Like, I mean, the one that we're looking for at the moment, and the reasoning behind it is, we suddenly thought that it might be an idea in all bulk emails to be able to put the member's number on any emails that went to them, because of our demographic and them being quite old, they tend to forget their membership number, and we don't issue membership cards anymore.
No, but they do. I mean, they have emails back to me with saying, "What's my membership number?"
Exactly.
The membership number is actually on it, Alan. So on the one I sent them.
Oh,
And they
how
still
have you
don't
done
know
that?
it. They still
How have
don't know it.
How have you done that, Neil?
It was bulk emails.
But it's not on all the templates, is it?
Not on all the. You mean? Are you talking a bulk email?
If you're doing a bulk email,
Yeah, like if you're doing
and you go insert template, the
yeah.
membership
It's
number
not in,
doesn't turn
not
up
in
on
every
them all,
one,
does it?
no. But
No.
I have included it, and even when I have, you get people emailing you back. What's my membership number?
Well,
You know,
my thought was, if it was on all bulk
yeah, it should be.
emails,
Ideally, it should be on every communication. I think.
that way, hit them every time you send them an
Yeah,
email.
but the trouble is, would it slow it down? Would you be down to the personalised thing every time?
I don't think it makes a lot of difference, to be honest, whether or not we send them out in groups or not. I think we did it at the start to do it, but I don't think using Workspace it's a problem.
Because
Really.
it does take a long while if you do a personalised one. At the moment.
Yes,
yeah.
they're spread out,
Yeah.
but they still all go, and you're not using that much resource, and you can't obviously put an attachment on it anyway if you do
No.
that. So,
But all our thinking was with the membership number, if they get used to the fact that it's on all bulk emails, they'll say, "Oh, what's my membership? Oh, I know, it's always on my emails."
Yes, that's right.
So they'll go back to the last email, so long as they don't delete them as they get them, of course.
Yeah.
So I think what you're talking about is not the template at all. If you're
It's a
saying
default.
that.
It's a
You're
default.
talking about a personalised email.
Would have a default of membership number in there.
Yeah, well, it could only have that if you're putting a name on it.
No, I was thinking that if you were to say it goes on every email, could you not say then that you just you do so many members and you just go through the membership numbers and add them?
Well, are you putting their name on it?
No.
I think no. I'd like the idea of name and number.
But that makes it personal, so you can't put an attachment on.
Well, that's what I was wondering if
Yeah,
it could.
I think that yes. You obviously, if you're putting attachments in, then that's different, isn't it? I mean, but
I was thinking at the point you compile them, Chris, could you not say even if it's just a bulk email. Oh no, you still wouldn't know, would you? Because it
Well, could
depends
you
if
not
it's
have-
going to
could
all
you
the
not have
membership.
Could there not be two versions of the email, one with the name and number, and one with just a number?
Well, there
So
already
you
are.
I think that's the idea, Tim, of having
Yeah.
the templates there, really.
Yeah.
You choose to have it or not as you want to.
Yeah.
But your original list was much more than just one item.
Was.
Yes.
Yeah, they'd go for
I mean, you had about, I don't know, dozens actually.
Yeah, I
didn't
think so.
you wanted to add to various different.
I mean,
I mean,
if you could test to see if you could speed personalise up, that'd be great.
Well, does it make a difference?
Oh, it
I mean,
makes quite a difference. I
it
mean,
takes 5 minutes instead of 3. Does that really make any difference to anything?
well, it takes about 3 hours.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, there is a time lag in it built into it,
Yes.
so we could reduce the time lag and see if it's. We had the time lag originally, but because I think when we were using. The one
And
we
I
used,
thought I must admit, I thought it was workspace because we had this thing with too many logins.
I think we already had it in there before that as
Oh,
well.
right.
Yeah, but yes, we haven't had too many logins for a long time, have we?
No,
You're going back to SendGrid, aren't you?
no,
was going back to
I
saying-
don't think so. I think it was Google. But anyway, if we speeded it up, we'd soon know.
Well, we could certainly speed it up. And we can try speeding it up. Let's put it that way. I'll tell you what. I'll do it on yours so that yours. When you do any personal ones, it'll go much quicker. And then if
On
you
mine, Cruise, you mean?
cruise,
Yes,
yes,
okay.
so that you would experience any problems.
Yes,
and then
all right.
that everybody can follow. You have
There is a risk of making them too fast. That the receiving end, if it's Hotmail, for instance, will see it as a burst of spam.
yeah,
Will it?
yeah.
I know it's problematic, whatever you do.
But if it
I've
takes,
had to paste some. With
if you're
Hotmail.
if you're sending out 1,500 and it takes 3 hours, I think that's
I can't remember. I know it's a substantial amount of time.
if it sent out 1,500 in an hour, then that would be okay, wouldn't it?
I would think so. Yeah.
So, question, Chris, going back to the insert template bit, I don't know how much work it involves, but with the insert template, it tends to be personal information. Yes?
Yes. Well,
How-
absolutely.
Right. So, how much of a problem would it be to add the same insert templates to every bulk email?
No, I think you're saying bulk email. You don't mean bulk email. You mean email, don't you? Because bulk email is only one thing. It's only one application. It's almost the same number of templates in that.
Yes, group email.
You're not talking bulk email. You're talking emails. Are you? Are you talking about things like email, a bulk email from a group? Because that's different. Right. I think we've got a mixture of file sizes in the system of things that you can add, and it was suggested that we create a standard throughout whenever you can add a file, there is a 10 meg limit on it, whereas I think at the moment some are 10 and some are 4, and I think maybe there are 1 or 2 twos still hanging around. So I assume that's something. Well, is that something people want or care about?
I think the consistency would be good. I think you've had a go at it previously, but
Well, I think
making a few of them 10. But
I think I tried to do 10, and I think, but I haven't.
left behind. That's all.
Yeah, a few left behind. Yes, and whether it's causing a problem, that's a.
I've not come across it as a problem. But
Okay. Well, I won't do it then. I don't mind. I mean, it's not. It's just. Well, it was mentioned previously. Okay.
It's useful to know if they've just got a single size limit, then you can't have any confusion or doubt over what you can send and what you can't. So,
Well, you do get a message if you try and load something that's bigger than the amount that you're allowed.
Yeah.
But I can
It
see.
would be good for newsletters, Chris, because I sometimes have to split them into 2 if they're bigger.
Yes. But are they bigger than 10?
No, 10's a good limit.
Oh, 10. Okay.
Bigger than 4. Yeah, thank you.
Right. So is that the newsletter in the system? I mean, or is it a newsletter you send out attached to maybe an email?
In the system.
Okay, right. Fine.
Actually, that reminds me. 14.3. Where's the newsletter archive? Has that disappeared?
Nothing's disappeared from the admin site. No, nothing at all. What you've lost something?
Yeah, we used to have the newsletter archive available. I'll have to try and build it then. I couldn't see it on the.
Was that a web page you built yourself?
I can't remember. It was probably 8 years ago. No, we've always had it available. All the history. Yeah, it's like a document store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, generally the answer is in the admin side, nothing's been taken out. It's only ever been added to. Obviously, there's much less on the members side because obviously in the attempt to try and keep things as simple as possible. But if it's an additional web page that you create, then
well, it wasn't a web page because it had a header, and it had it effectively looked like an archive file store. So it wasn't
Oh, you mean it part of store?
Yes. I need to find out how we built it. I'll get back to you offline.
Right. Yeah. Store is definitely still available. If it isn't available, then there's something wrong. I mean, it should still be available.
Yeah, document store as an artifact is. Archiving newsletters isn't, obviously. But I'll go back and have a look for it.
Okay. If you send me a bit more detail,
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Alan, this email's dated 12th of July 22, the one that you asked for it.
Right. Okay. Well, I've just popped back into our system and I've remembered what the devil. I'm getting mixed up. Right. If you go into system details, update system details, and then, for instance, renewal fee reminder. Okay. If you go into that one,
yes, that's you've got
right.
a spreadsheet detailing them.
Right. If you go into that one and go insert template, okay, I get just about every blooming field known to man that is to do with that particular individual. But if you go into bulk email, you get membership secretary, and that's it.
No. That's not true. No, you're in the wrong one. You're in the bulk. You're in the one with the attachments. If you go into the personalized ones, you get an awful lot more.
Ah, so it's because we're setting up attachments permitted.
Yeah, because they're bulk. They're batched.
They're no personalization.
No, they're batched into 50s.
Right.
Go faster.
Okay, let me have a rethink on what I requested then, because I might have requested something that's already there. I'm just being an idiot.
But I don't think the membership number's there, is it, on that list?
Oh, right. Okay. So it's because I've been setting them all up as attachments allowed, and membership number is there. Right. Okay. Completely ignore that request, Chris. That's a load of nonsense.
Okay. I will cross it through.
You're dealing with an idiot.
So all we're left with is how the speed it gets sent, really.
Yes, I've got the speed down. I'll sort the speed out.
Yeah. Ignore the idiot. Ignore the idiot in Peterborough. We've all got web feet, you know.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Next thing on the list was an option again, a relatively minor thing, but to enable when you set up a single day group, you didn't have to go through it. Actually, I'll show you rather than talk about it. At the moment, if you want to raise something for raise a group for just a single day group, you have to fill in the start, you have to fill in the end, you have to put the frequency in, so you have to work out what day of the week. Oh, sorry, yes, you always have to put weekly in, and also you have to work out what day of the week it is for it to be accepted. All is being suggested is that we just have another little tick thing here, like the rolling end of year one, and if you just click, you put start date in and you click the button, it'll take away the end date, it'll take away the frequency, and would take away the day of the meeting, and would work it out for itself.
All right, we tend to put start and end date the same, and then put frequency in as user defined.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And then you get a box that comes up saying describe user defined, and we put on day of trip only.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Well, you don't need to do that. If you put the start at the moment, if you just put the start and end date the same, it comes up. Well, I'll show you what it comes up like.
I think your suggestion of a single day button is excellent. We get people getting it wrong all the time.
Yes. So if you put a single day, it automatically comes up, date of event, Thursday, the 20th of November, 2025.
Right.
And so you don't need to put, don't need to override it. The system will do that for you.
Okay.
Does it not ask for a frequency by default? Maybe not.
It will ask you, at the moment, it will ask you for a frequency. So all I'm suggesting here
Yeah,
is
sounds good then.
you
Yeah.
have a little button, you click on it, and it will just turn it into a single
That's
day
fine.
event.
Yeah.
And will come out with date of event, Thursday, the 20th of November. But you know, again, if you want it, then I'm, you know, it's happy to do it.
That'd
Yeah, I
be a
think
good,
that's worth having.
We'd like it.
yeah, that'd be a good one for you, Jan, with your job at the moment.
Right. Okay. While I'm here,
Sorry, I got my
Sorry.
speaker on. Only one caveat on that is when we do a day trip, we use Excel and we have to put the date in on the, I'm just trying to think, it's on the icon, the Excel icon or the spreadsheet icon, and that allows us then to send, to create an Excel sheet on it. Am I being clear? Sorry, I'm
No.
waffling a bit.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think you're talking about the register, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, and then for Excel format. So
Yes.
on the icon next to the report on the group register, so the Excel type grid,
The calendar one.
You mean the calendar?
yeah,
The date.
we would have to then put the individual day trip date in there.
Shouldn't have to.
No, you would if you just when you set up your single day. If it's a single day, you just set it up there, and it would automatically go into here.
Oh, right, okay. Because at the moment we're having to put it in there so that I can get it out in Excel.
Oh, you shouldn't have to do that even now.
I have been, but I think it was something Louis told me about.
Oh, right. Yeah. You only really need to use these as exceptions. Really, this one is exceptions because if you've got a single day event, then just set it up as a single day, and it will automatically appear in there, and will automatically appear in the register as well.
I stand to be corrected then on that one.
I can give it a go and see if it does what you want it to do. And yeah. So, well, actually, that's one of the ones that I was going to ask about. That's one of the comments on this has been that the format of this. I'll just open it. Was done some time ago. Can you see that one? Yes. No.
You need to share another screen.
Oh, okay, got it. Right. So this is the format of the group register at the moment, and I'm just it looks odd in terms to me in terms of what's there and what's that we could perhaps look at this and have this in a slightly better format. You know, I don't know. We put number attended, fees collected, amount banked, all that sort of. Does anybody ever use that?
No, it takes all the room up.
I don't. I just delete it all in Excel and just have the list of names.
I mean, it's interesting that the name of the U3A isn't anywhere on there, so you wouldn't know, would you?
It's there.
Oh, sorry, Disney testing. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just it happens to be I
Yeah.
call it Disney testing. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a very pretty report, and whether or not are people happy with it? Do they want to change it? Because I don't want to change it unless people want it changed. Or are you happy with it?
Well, I think it needs to change, Chris, and just be more of a list of the members. Not as you say, not all those other lines.
Or at least at the bottom of the list, if you do want it. The number attended, fee collected, so and so.
So do people use it? I mean, is it widely used or not used
Well,
very
they
much?
certainly use them, yes, but I don't think they actually necessarily use those columns, those fields rather.
No, but they use the report.
Yeah, they use the register, yeah.
And do they use the report like Jan was saying, taking the Excel version rather than the PDF version?
Some do, yes, because they like to put the tea and coffee money in it.
Yes. Okay. But it sounds as though everybody's reasonably happy with it as it is. I can take out those 5 lines, but other than that, leave it as it is.
Yeah.
Is that general?
Yeah, it would take up less space, that's for sure.
Yeah, get more names on one page then as well.
Yes, you get more names on the page. Well, you could turn
portrait.
Sorry.
Do it portrait.
Yeah, we could do a portrait.
Well, you won't get the good number of meetings in. Normally, there's about 15.
Well, there's a limit. I mean, it doesn't. It depends how many. I mean, it restricts it to the next, as you say, 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it could restrict it to the next 10 and still produce the report, couldn't it? In portrait, and you get more people
It's just
on the
that
page.
our terms tend to be getting on for 15 maximum.
Okay.
For our day trips, we've got probably, if we go for a 57-seater coach, we would have 57 people on that. And then for printing purposes, when we tick them off on the coach, if people haven't got duplex printers, you know, they've got umpteen sheets to mess about with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So portrait be better for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's only one day then. Yeah.
Yes, they're only one day. Yeah. Next thing was the contact, the U3A contact page, which is currently in the main site. This one. I'm not suggesting this should change at all, but the version of it, we've now got this version of it that you can have in the members site, which if I just go across to there. So I just pull it in a bit. So you can this bit here is an option you've got in the new members site to put in the to put a summary version of that U3A contacts. I've taken out of I think there was a suggestion I take out the title and let you put your own title in there, which is what I've done that. So it comes without a title now, so you can put your own title in.
So we could add extra thing above it anyway, couldn't we? Because I want to put the phone number in.
Yeah. So this is just a heading.
Yeah,
It
comes out better, that does.
Comes out of website creator.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put whatever you like in there.
Looks an awful lot better than the view members get at the moment.
Whereabouts was that page, Chris? Where did you get it from?
It's a template you include in web page creator. So when you're creating,
Oh right, okay, right. Okay.
You've got a template for the committee, if you like, and there's a template for the message summary.
Okay.
Which you can incorporate in here. But what we were talking about was whether or not this is what you want to see here, or whether you want telephone numbers with it, or other contact information.
I think that's fine as it is. But
Yeah, that's enough.
for the individual.
Right. So
we don't want phone numbers in there.
No, email certainly enough. Otherwise, then I've got a record of what the person's actually saying.
Yeah.
No, I wanted just to add the 0300 number. That's all. There wouldn't be individual numbers in there.
Right. So you can put that in the heading
Yeah,
at the bottom, or above, or below, or yes. So I see. Yes. This is your 0300.
Yes. Then with options to write for whoever you want.
Yes. That's free, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know Alan.
Yes,
uses it.
Alan put us onto it.
Does anybody else use it?
Who's banging?
Yeah, who's doing all the knocking?
Does anybody else use the 0300 number?
No.
Or is everybody aware of the 0300 number?
No.
Does one of you want to tell them about it?
Alan's the top man.
It is. Oh, here we go. It is a company called Core Telecom, and what they do is they're payback to the community. They say it's a sort of a way of them saying thank you, and they provide it for free. And what they will do is they will provide you a single 0300 number. And you get a certain amount of numbers to select from, but all the good ones are gone. And you then get a single number whereby I'm sure you've all used telephone systems where when you ring it up, they say, "Welcome to Peterborough U3A. Please select from the following. Select 1 for the membership secretary, select 2 for the chairman, select 3 for blah, blah, blah." And they then select the number and you route that selection, that number, to whatever telephone number, whether that be a mobile or a landline, to, let's say it's the membership secretary, you can route it to your membership secretary. So it goes through, there are various recordings that come with it. If the telephone doesn't get answered on that selection, it goes to an answer machine. That answer machine generates an MP3 file, which is sent through to the email address of that person. So if our membership secretary didn't answer the phone, an email would go to membership@peterboroughu3a.org.uk with an MP3 file attached with the message that they leave. You can set it up so that you only have, in quotes, office hours. And at all other times, it goes direct to an answer machine. We run ours from 9 till 5, I think it is, Monday to Friday. And if it's a weekend, they get an answer machine straight away. You get a switchboard that you can set it up in whatever way you want. Let's say you had 2 membership secretaries, as we have. You can set it up that if they select number 1 for the membership secretary, it would go to, there's various ways. It's called a hunt group. And you can set it up that it will go to membership secretary number 1 first. If they don't answer, it then moves on to membership secretary number 2. If they don't answer, then it goes to an answer machine. Or you can have it ringing both of the membership secretaries at the same time. And it then depends on which one's the quickest one to get there, really, which quite often is not my wife. She's a bit slow. It's a very good system and it's completely free.
Yeah, it's excellent.
And we find it really useful. I mean, you do only get the options. You get 10 options that you can set it up for, but that covers the vast majority of your committee members if you want it to. So
who do we get this from, did you say, Alan?
A company called Core Telecom. What I will do is I will try and find...
Yeah, they've got a dedicated charity contact.
Yeah, I'll try and find it. I mean, it costs them nothing. It's a thing that's backed sort of by the government as well, which might instill confidence or might not. But we've had no problems with it at all, and they're very, very helpful when it comes to setting it all up. They will virtually do the setup for you if you get confused.
Which you do.
Well, as luck at it,
you helped me.
Well, as luck at having, I used to be a telephone engineer, so I pretty much know what we're doing. I'll see if I can find it before the end of the call, and I'll stick it up as the address up as a message on this call.
Okay, I've seen it now on the internet. Yeah.
core.telecom.co.uk.
Oh, you found it already?
Leeds area.
Yeah. I can't do things. I can't multitask. I was talking. I can't type and talk at the same time.
And when's your delightful assistant bringing you a cup of tea then, Alan?
Pardon? Oh, she's already been.
She brought it already. I saw it.
Yeah, no, the tea trolley's already been round.
Oh, the ninja skills are very good then.
Just good job she wasn't behind you when you criticised her speed.
Right. Okay. Let's move on. The next thing was there's another report which people have commented on and don't like very much, and that's this one, and whether or not we need to make a change to this one. Do people use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's not liked about it?
Yeah.
Too cramped, I think it was said.
Too
Too
cramped.
Cramped.
This is a payment group, though, isn't it?
This is well, no. I think it's all groups get the same. It's just the group. It's
Yeah, I
just
mean the
members.
bottom bit that you're showing there is a payment group.
Oh, hang on. I'm not showing that. Sorry.
That's better.
Right.
Ah, see what you mean. The printed version.
The printed version, yes, yes. So, is it used, and do people want
Well,
it?
they take it with them on outdoor trips, that's for sure.
They do use it.
Okay.
Yes, we use it.
Right.
But I don't think it's necessarily used to the extent that people would know whether it's workable or not.
No.
I think it looks clear enough.
We use it when we go on the day trips.
Yeah.
The only thing I mean, it's me just being a bit picky. I don't like it. Looks like Times New Roman font, but that's just me.
Well, for legibility, you're supposed to use that with below 12 point, I think. Serif font.
Sorry?
I think with the rules about clarity, I think that is the recommended thing to do below a certain size, which I think is 12 point. You know, it should be a serif font.
I mean, I prefer Arial, but
yeah, I do too. But I know from work that we had to do it various things that had legibility.
Great.
Right. So anyway, I'm not getting any feedback that it's not acceptable. I mean, it's not worth making any changes to it.
Yeah. Chris, on that report, you've got a space between the member's name and their membership number.
Yes.
Could that be a default throughout the system? Because I must admit, like fonts and such, I must admit, it does niggle me that when you get a member's name, immediately there's no gap between their name and their membership number.
Is that when you look them up?
Really? Okay. Yeah, I think there should be a space if there isn't.
Yeah.
So if you want to point me in direction of where it's irritating.
If you go back to one of the other reports on that you've shown, I think you would see it. But
right.
But yeah, okay.
Oh, back to the group list, the live version.
I'll have a look in time and let you know.
We were talking about the register.
Yeah.
Oh, it's there. I've got it. Hang on, I don't need there. I've got it there. Yes. Okay. Yeah, if you want a space there, we can put a space. I'm taking out the lines. I can put a space in there as well. Right. Yeah.
You've not managed to sort out the pagination, have you? Still.
No, well, it's not my.
I know it's not you. No,
I can't. I gave this to there's a PDF producer, if you like, and that's what they do, and yes, it's difficult
with that then.
Right. Okay. Let's move on. Right. Then the group financial page. Number of comments about that. Let me just go to it. And,
if anyone hasn't seen it, if you look at your in-call messages, that Core Telecom website address is now in the in-call messages. I must admit their website doesn't give much of a description of what they do, but they've got a contact place, and that Rohill Joshi or whatever his name is, very helpful.
Very helpful.
Right. Okay. Right. Next thing, group financial page. Number of suggestions here. One that we exclude the strike fees out of it. Because this is for the group leaders to look at, and therefore they probably don't necessarily get involved with the strike fee. What else? Oh, and I think Laurie, you were talking about starting this on a different month, weren't you? I don't know how widely this is used. I know Causeway use it, and I think Holmes Chapel use it. So has anybody else got an interest in it? So they don't get group leaders to manage their own finances from using
No,
this.
we don't. No.
No.
We try to.
What happens if you click on fee bracket stripe, Chris?
It gives you it tells you the strike, all the transactions that make up that particular entry. So you know, if you go to here, you can see who's paid in particular months, or you can.
The only thing I was thinking was if you show the stripe fee, if the group leaders see that, they might suddenly think, oh, I didn't take that into account, and they're going to run a trip at a loss or whatever.
Yeah, well, at the moment it's shown. It's been there for years. So if you're using it, maybe you're not using it. You're not. So anyway, you want to start, Laurie, on a different day, a different month.
That's right. We want to, I mean, normally we would want to start on the same as the membership year.
And not the financial year.
That's right. For the group leaders, that's effectively when they start their finances.
Right. Well, it sounds as though it's only you and Nigel that are actually using it. Nigel, do you have a view on that?
But we're changing our financial year to the end of June. At the moment, it's the end of March.
Yes, at the moment, this comes out on financial year. So so if you're changing it to June, then June would be the first month shown. Whether or not you want that, if that's how you want this shown, I mean, do groups manage their finances on the same as your financial year?
No, probably by term rather than financial year.
Yeah. So when's your membership year start?
It's moving to the 1st of September.
Okay. Yeah. So you do use this report, or you plan to use this report?
We're trying to use it. Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. So so if that changed to starting in September rather than June, that would be a problem for you. Are we saying?
It would better align with the membership year, the term year for activities.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you saying it would be better aligned with the membership year?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good then, because I think I don't think anybody would nobody else uses it, and you two want it aligned with membership year. That's easy to do. It's just that's fine. Right. Okay.
It sounds easy to do, but having seen the code, it won't be, Chris.
Yeah, you see, sorry, you keep on looking around the back, and
yeah, I can see the knitting.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, okay. Well, I'll try and do that. I think it should be okay.
Yeah, smashing.
Right. Okay. And that's the only thing, because I think you asked is a more general question, didn't you, Laurie? That you wanted to account for it in a different year, but basically that report provides what you're really asking for. Yeah,
I mean, I want to have it updated so it shows venue costs as well as and instructor costs, but that's
it does show.
I'm working on.
It does show venue costs, I think.
Yeah, sorry, the instructor costs. I meant, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And we also want to look at it showing forecast costs.
And where do they come from?
From the venue bookings.
And you're saying it doesn't? Oh, forecast rather than actual payments.
Yes, as another line. Yeah,
Ah,
commitments effectively.
commitments.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I
Now
don't
that
think that's not a big thing, but it's important for our
yeah, no, I can see.
group leaders. Yeah.
Yeah, they want you to know how much they're going to spend as well as how much they have spent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be useful.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll have a look at that. Right.
And that's venue and instructor.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you enter? I can't remember. How do you enter your instructor costs? I know where
The instructor costs effectively are aligned with the venue. If the venue's booked, the instructor's booked.
But is the cost a per month cost or a per?
Oh, it's either. We've got an indicator the same as venue, either for session or month.
It's per session or okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's nearly always session.
It's near. Yes.
There's an indicator in the same way as there is a venue.
Right. So that has to work out how many sessions there are then and put them in the right month.
Yeah. Just to help you.
Yes, I'll enjoy doing that one. Yes, right. Okay. All right. There was another entry on that. Only show paid in. I can't remember.
Yes, one of the things is that this shows, if you like, theoretically collected money rather than paid into bank money.
Oh yes. It should only show it when it's paid into the bank and not show it when it's being collected and not handed over to the treasurer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of group leaders are very slack on paying it into. They actually pay it into the bank, not the treasurer. So they're very slack in doing that, and sometimes they're months behind. But it looks on this sheet. It would look on this sheet as though they've done it all, but they haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. That's all right for you, Nigel?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, good. Right. Okay. Fine. Right. Venue bookings next. This is only yourself, Laurie, and Neil. I think. I don't think anybody else uses it, do they? No.
This is group leaders making the bookings. Is that right?
No. This is the venue.
Venue booker.
Yeah.
Sorry, the venue booker, not
A
the group leader.
central role of where this who books and pays for the venues.
Yeah. And the treasurer marks up the actual payment.
Yeah, the invoices tend to come for, if you like, multiple groups as well.
Yeah.
So at the moment, there isn't a way to be sure which invoices have been marked off against which venue and when. So all it shows is booked. There's no easy way to go back and check everything.
Yeah. Right.
So we just want some form of invoice.
Yeah. You just want
text.
A text field. Yeah, a text field associated with a payment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then there's a couple of other minor things in there about including a venue number. Oh no, actually no. It was a major thing, wasn't it? The other thing there, Neil, was when a group goes and changes from one place to another.
Oh yes, they change one place to the other, which it's not very common. I mean, you can cope with it. It's just that it then doesn't appear on the exceptions list. So you could end up, the treasurer would could receive a bill for it, or probably would receive a bill for it if it hasn't been cancelled, even though there's nobody meeting there.
Right.
You know, so if it was set up with venue A. And all the dates are in. If you then changed it halfway through to venue B, the dates remain, but not on that, but on the wrong venue.
Yeah,
they remain on the old venue.
On the old venue, yes.
Yeah, we just had that one as well.
Yeah.
So I had to go through and delete them.
Yes.
Okay. It's just
So
it's a
I
pain,
don't
but
think
not
it's a
a
particular.
massive thing. Yeah.
It's. I was going to say it's not very often it happens, but it has happened.
No.
okay, right, fine. Okay, so that, well, I don't think there was a.
Before you move on from venues, Chris, I mean, I think I spoke to you about this a few weeks back now. We had a group leader meeting and they specifically asked for visibility of what venues we use and what facilities they got. And I did speak to you about this. I remember it now.
Yeah.
But from memory, and I might be misremembering this, was it not suggested at some point that the visibility of venues for, I mean, specifically group leaders, but members in general, was going to disappear?
Only for if it's a house meeting. In house.
Yeah,
if it's in
the venue. Are you talking about disappearing on the new site or disappearing generally?
Well, I thought the suggestion was that have you got it on yours there? No, I can't see it.
Yeah, look there.
Yeah, no. Hold on. Let me go back to our system. As it stands at the moment, we have got, if I log in.
It's when you're creating a group, isn't it, Alan, in the drop down?
Yeah, no. What it is, on our left menu, we have got a menu item that says venue listing. And when I click on it, it goes away eventually because we've got so many in there. And it comes back with a venue list. And the reason the group leaders said that they wanted to see this was, on occasion, they find that the venue that they're using isn't any use anymore for whatever reason, or it's closing down or whatever. And they say it would be nice to know within Peterborough what other venues there are, what they charge, how big their hall is, and what have you. But from my memory, I think somebody said that venue list was going to disappear.
It certainly isn't going to disappear from the admin menu. It's there forever. I mean, yeah. So group coordinators can have access to it.
Isn't that a group coordinator's role?
No, because, well, it is, but our group leaders tend to be rather independent. Let's put it that way.
Well,
do you want me to show you the page I'm talking about?
Well, sorry, I am showing you. Sorry.
Oh, are you? Sorry, I've gone off of it. I'm looking at our system.
No. Sorry,
that's not available to group leaders, is it?
No.
It's not.
No.
Not
That's on the
saying,
venue
Alan.
book of that.
Right, let me share. Hold on. This will take over from Chris. Right, I'll share the screen that I'm looking at. That one there. Share. Right. That's the page that our group leaders are saying they would like to be able to see. And that comes from... hold on.
I'll show you where it comes from.
I thought that was generally available.
That comes from there.
Yeah.
It's there. Yeah.
Right. So is that going to remain?
That's available to everybody, I think.
No, I mean on the new site.
No, it's not on the new site, I don't think.
So is that saying that the group leaders will no longer be able to see that list? Or is it a case of we add it in?
I suppose it could be added in. It's just a list, isn't it? So would they want all this information, all this information as well about?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's say, for instance, that a group had a particular. They had a couple of members that were in wheelchairs, and they want wheelchair access, and that. When they go to that blue eye link, they can see that this has got ramp access or whatever.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to put in it, isn't it? Really, but
exactly.
It's the old problem of actually who's going to put it in and who's going to keep it up to date, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we were going to populate it with, and from, as I say, I was under the impression that this was going to disappear, and I thought, well, I'm not going to start populating it if it's going to disappear.
Well, it was here because obviously in the past it's been a group coordinator's responsibility, if you like, and that's where this is. They haven't had this before then.
Well, we've got a specific venue secretary who looks after all of our venues, and it's not the group co-ord.
Okay, that's fine.
And it's a case of persuading her to populate the damn thing.
Yeah, well, she can have access to that now. That's all. She's got access to all that now.
Right, she's got access to be able to populate it, but will there be visibility for group leaders to be able to see the information she's putting in?
No, at the moment, but that's not. So are you just saying you want to have this list on the members' site?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the way that you cut to the chase there, Chris.
Right. Okay. Then I think
Probably be under information, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought so.
okay.
I mean, I think some of the members look through it as well to see if, you know, when they're thinking of joining a group, to see if there's any information that might put them off.
Okay. Right. Fine. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That's. I'll write it down. Okay. Right. What's the right? The next thing was this was something which Congleton started using, and basically taking URLs with putting different parameters on it, and trying to, if you like, jump past the menu and go directly into various parts of the system, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work completely. And so because it's expecting to come from somewhere else, and therefore there was and so this really led on to a discussion about whether or not there is an option to be able to put links into emails or things like that, which would automatically log you in and take you to a particular page and put you there legitimately, if you like. And I think I spoke to you about it, Neil, as well, didn't I?
You did, yes, you did. Because I would have liked that from a group.
Say again, sorry.
I would have liked that too, if you wanted to enrol in a group. For instance, when we're asking people to go to our 30th year celebration, if you could have clicked, you know, add yourself to the group, and it went straight to the group.
Actually, I saw a note this morning. I can't remember who was that from. Asking that specific thing. You know, being able. Was it you?
You're talking about a similar facility to when they renew their membership.
Auto payment, really.
It's very similar to that. Yes, yeah. But it's also being able to go into slightly complicated things, and you know, I think Congleton. I don't know whether Eugene's on the call, but
it was. Oh, he had to go at 4:15. I think he said.
Oh, right. Okay. I think he was looking for it to go into a contact us. No, not a contact us, a contact a member. Specifically wanted to say contact this member, and by doing it, by missing out the various bits, go straight to by putting the member's number up there and various other things, and it didn't work properly because it expected to come from somewhere else where the contact the member is. So there was those types of things, but so I'm just wondering how useful people might find that.
I think I remember what it was exactly in ours. It was we included a link to the group in the email, but if you then went click the link and you were using a tablet or a phone, it would open the page, the appropriate page, but obviously not logged in, so you couldn't join. And the moment you then logged in, it went back to the home page. That was what it was.
Yeah, we quite often put in a link for people that send out the bulk emails, put in a link to a group.
Yeah.
They quite often put in the link to the logged in.
That's right.
Group rather than the logged out one.
Yeah.
So it would be useful, provided we're not like including it going to negate any.
But so basically, it becomes a template you put on bulk emails, basically, isn't it? Or yeah, it's bulk emails, isn't it?
So it'll be a personalised one again. So
A personalised bulk email,
yes, so
some templates in there to be able to go to specific places and to auto log in.
yes,
You know, obviously, there is a risk in doing that, in that, but you know, that's why when we did it, we said you can only use it once and it expires after so many days and this sort of thing.
yeah, I would think they wouldn't. Wouldn't you do the same sort of thing? Maybe even give her less time than the normal payment one.
Well, yeah, yes.
The risk is if you forward the email on.
If you forward the email on,
if the recipient forwards the email to somebody else, like a friend,
and hasn't clicked it themselves before they do that, then their friend will be able to log in.
Yeah.
Whereas at the moment, of course, they can, if they do that, the only option is they have to pay. Well, I'm not going to pay for my friend, are you? So even if it doesn't actually matter. But I suppose they end up logged in as a result.
Yes, they do end up logged in. If they cancel the payment, they stay logged in.
Yeah, so they don't go ahead, you mean, and then so they're still logged in and can do anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, they can go anywhere they want. Yeah, exactly. So,
is that serious though? I mean, what could they do?
I don't think it would happen very much, and it's only likely to happen with the general membership. So they probably can't do a lot.
Yes, so we've had it in the system for 10 years, if you like. So, and it hasn't caused any issues with anybody up to now. So, so yeah, if that's the general interest, I'll try and pull something together, and then we can try and put a bit more detail around it.
The only downside sorry, go on, carry on.
We would like to use that for people joining trips, day trips or tours.
Yes.
That's right.
The only downside I could see there, you're saying about if somebody forwarded their email on, let's assume they forwarded it to a non-member. The non-member clicks the link. They've then got access to all of the stuff that's behind the members' gateway, and they've got access to people's phone numbers and email addresses and God knows what else.
They were
phone numbers, not so much email addresses, but phone numbers. Yeah, if they log into a group and the group leader has displayed their phone number.
Oh yeah, the group leader's phone number, not anybody else's.
No, not everyone else's. It's just.
I mean, there's it.
Yeah.
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
If people don't think it's a problem, not a problem.
I mean, you could also, of course, when it get hacked and somebody's taking all your emails, but I mean, I think you get that sort of issue with everything.
Yes.
We're not Sainsbury's U3A.
No, Marks and Spencer's.
Right, I'll pull something together and then we'll see what people think. Okay.
You bypass subscriptions, Chris.
Oh, have I? Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So there were a few items there which you and Neil had suggested with subscriptions, wasn't it?
I think
refunds, duplicate fees.
Yeah, we have had people paying twice.
Yeah,
yes,
we get quite a few.
They can do that. They can do. Yeah. They have to be quite swift and quite quick on the mark, off the mark, to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But
it's refunding, and that's the issue really, because if it's a duplicate payment and you refund one of them, it automatically then puts them back to unpaid, even though they've still got one valid payment.
Yes. Yes.
It's okay with cash and check, but not with Stripe.
It's not expecting a dual payment, is it?
That's right. Yeah.
No.
It's almost like it should be tied into the actual Stripe number, if you like. I don't know if that's possible. That could be recorded, so you know which one actually paid the. Well, the last one paid it, didn't
you? Don't want to write the system for someone. No, I think we've got to address the issue, which is the duplicate payment.
Well, I don't think you will you? Because everybody says, please don't press the back button or refresh when you're doing this. I mean, that's nearly on every time you pay online. Because that's obviously the same issue.
No, I don't think so.
No, that's what I assumed it was.
No, it's not that. It's that once they've paid, it pops off to somewhere else. If they quickly go back to the page before and the system hasn't had a chance to update the fact that they paid, then that's how they managed to do it.
What about pressing refresh?
Refresh shouldn't because there's token numbers added and you can't
Right.
you repeat the token number.
Right. I know they're
Um,
good at it anyway. What they do.
Yes.
Yes, the way they do it is to get back to the button and get a new token number generated,
Right.
and therefore then they can do it.
Ah, I see. So they don't think they've paid. They go back to it and press the token again. Press that,
Yeah.
so get a new token number.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they've got to do, and they've got a minute to
Up
do
to
it.
a minute. Yeah, and sometimes it's faster than that, but
Oh well, it's on average 30 seconds.
that's
and
right. Yeah.
Sometimes it's 1 second.
Yeah. Depends how busy they are, I suppose.
No. It's there's a process that runs once a minute.
Oh, I see. Right.
So if they do it 1 second
Right.
before
I
the
see.
minute
Sorry,
run, they get it.
I thought it was Stripe. It was slow
No, it's
processing.
us.
Right.
It's us.
No.
We could change that to 30 seconds, and it would make a quarter of the problem.
Yeah, it might help.
Yeah. Yes. It's always been a minute, but I think it doesn't solve the problem, and therefore, I think probably we need to have a look at it. Yeah.
No, the way
It's not only
to solve
it's not only-
it is to mark it as pending, surely. As soon as they press the button first time.
Just say again, Harry.
You need to mark the transaction as pending within your system as soon as they press the button the first time.
Yes, ask Alan about that. He said he sends me repeated emails, don't you? One today, even, Alan, you sent me. That's exactly what the system does. It locks the member. Yes, it locks the member, and if they shouldn't, they can't take another transaction while that's there. So actually, maybe subscriptions hasn't got the lock member thing in, thinking about it now, because this
Right.
used to be a problem with membership, but I don't think it is anymore.
No, the problem with membership is people rejoining when they're already a member.
Yeah. Well, there's enough features in there to try and catch that, but there's not much you can do about that, is there?
No.
I read on social media the other day you cannot legislate for stupid.
No, you can't.
Right. Okay.
What was the zero value thing?
But when you can put zero in as the again stupidity. You can put zero in as the cost. They'll gaily send
right.
that out. Except if there's nothing in, that's fine. If tell them, but I think really we need to check for zero too.
Yes. Okay. It was a minor.
Yeah,
ticket
minor detail.
when
Yeah.
we make
You don't
another
think
tick.
anybody be that thick, but they are.
And the other thing was to we don't inform the group leader when the payment is overdue.
No, we don't. No, it's just the member that gets told.
Yes, but the question is whether or not the group leader wants to have 50 emails from because they get reminded 5 times, don't they?
Could you just do the first time?
I can do that. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a start, wouldn't it? So they perhaps gee 'em up. So, or could you? What happened? I don't know what happens in the subscription. Do they change colour when it's overdue? That'd be one way around it. If you could change the colour of the fee to red or something in the list of subscriptions. Let me just have a look at one.
Yeah, I mean, if they're actually looking there, they can see it. They're not paid. They must.
Yeah, if they can see it anyway. It's alerting them, isn't it?
It's alerting them. That's what I'm wondering if you change the colour of it. We just go to one.
But you'd just be changing the colour of everyone because the date due would be the same for all of them, wouldn't it? And it says not paid.
Yes, I know it said not paid, so they can see who's not paid, as you say. Yeah, they know what date it's due because it says on the top.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't need to know then.
But
Just management.
But if you want, if they're not looking at the thing, an email would be an answer. But you certainly don't want to have it every single time, do you?
No, you don't. No, you don't want to keep repeating it every time that the member hasn't paid.
You could have it just for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But in general, it works pretty well, actually.
Good. Good.
Certainly, loads of transactions. It's filled our finances up, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Right. Fine. Okay. Let's move on. Time is getting on. Nigel, you suggested that we perhaps that Beacon had a facility for on-page help, dynamic help, and you were talking about the possibility of it. My main concern of it is who's going to write all the there's probably what, I don't know, 200 pages. Who's going to write the 200 pages of help to do it? Just to make it available is dead easy, but it's to actually populate it with useful information, which and you would probably want it slightly differently to other people. Whether or not anybody would put the effort in to actually do that, do you think?
I didn't realize that you have a help button on the top line.
Right. Yes. That's there if you want it. And are you talking about members here, or are you talking about group leaders and that sort of stuff in terms of help?
Probably members and group leaders. I mean, on Beacon, there's a help at the very login page. So if people aren't sure about logging in, then they would get help, or tell them how to change their password.
Yes, well, that's something definitely they could use the help thing here to address that particular issue in terms of populating that.
By dynamic, do you mean you could answer an open-ended question and seek help?
No, I wouldn't think so.
On Beacon, it can take you to a little help video of how to log in or how to change your password, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
It looks like we can do that already with the help button on the top line, which we weren't aware of.
Yeah, right, okay. Right, okay, then so hopefully that might, because it's a big task to do a help.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. Right, okay. Next on the list then was the group administrator. Not. So if anybody appoints a group administrator, who is not the group leader or whatever, they do not receive the emails that the group leader receives for changes in the system and that sort of thing.
It was actually for members applying as well, Chris.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd be guided by Alan a bit on this one, because he uses it as a web buddy, I think, for people. But it seemed to me that if a group leader had an email address in the system, then the group administrator didn't get copies of those emails, which didn't cover the situation when the group leader went on holiday.
Well, that was, I think we accepted that when it first came out, I think, because I remember announcing to them all that it said the only thing you won't get is the communications.
Right. I mean, it's not something we used for a long time, and then we had the occasion.
We seem to have quite a lot, actually.
And I found that we weren't getting the emails I expected to get.
Yeah.
It's not if it were an either or situation, in that if you appoint an administrator, then group leaders don't get them, as opposed to everybody getting them.
We've actually got one group where we've got two group leaders who run the group. Neither of them are IT literate, so therefore they've assigned, they run two groups in actual fact, they've assigned a web buddy, group administrator, whatever the devil you want to call them. And because they haven't got an email address, I suppose nobody gets a blasted email.
That's right, yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
So they've appointed an administrator, did you say?
They've appointed, they run two groups, the two leaders, neither of which have an email address. They're both well into their 90s. So they've appointed a group administrator for each of the groups, two separate people. But the two group leaders haven't got an email address. So the group administrator only knows that they've got new applicants or whatever if they log into the system, I suppose.
Now, I think if the group leader doesn't have an email address, then I think the administrator gets it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I can't remember all the permutations I put in the spreadsheet, Chris, but I think that was the case.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, so what we're going back to is what Neil said originally, that maybe we talked about it and decided that
Yeah, that you know, you have
It's
to
an
accept
either-or
that
situation,
it's a
so-
short, you know, that it's not, you're not
Yeah.
going to get the emails.
if I had a member within the group set as an administrator and the group leader had no email address, then the administrator did receive the email.
okay.
But that isn't the situation you've got when somebody goes on holiday. If the group leader had an email in the system, then the administrator didn't get it when they went away. It was
Yeah, that makes sense. The group leader's in charge, really, isn't he?
yeah. So you'd have to take the email out of the group leader and put the administrator. Well,
Which, you know, and I used to say, why don't you become the second leader then? But, you know, that's, there seemed to be a bit of pressure, some of them, about keeping it on.
Yes, because you do have that option not to make them a second leader as opposed to an administrator, and therefore they would receive them then.
yeah. Well,
But they seem to always want the best of all worlds. That's the
That
trouble.
was actually the situation we had. I'm not even going to go into the situation we had. There was two group leaders, both of them had emails. The administrator was the restricted group coordinator, but wasn't getting some of the information. You know, group coordinator for restricted group. And I went through all these permutations. And what came out of it was that they weren't getting an email. The administrator wasn't getting an email, or the restricted group coordinator wasn't getting an email when a member applied. The main group coordinator got an email, but the restricted one didn't.
No, you can't have that. You can't have. It's like if you have a restricted one, you don't have a group coordinator.
Well,
because you've got no option in the group. You can only select one.
it's true.
So the group. So you're talking. You only have one group coordinator, don't you?
No, I've got three, I think, at the moment.
Oh, right. Okay.
One main one and two for restricted groups, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But I'm sure the main one got an email in certain circumstances that the one for the restricted group did not.
I don't think they get things if you've appointed somebody else to be the group coordinator, even if it's a restricted one. I don't think the group coordinator gets one. But
well, I'll tell you what, Chris, knock it on the head unless it becomes another problem, because I haven't got the will to live to go through all the permutations.
Okay, right, okay. Right, okay. Change of membership type between renewal and payment. This is an issue that I think Alan had come across recently, where somebody has been charged as one type of member and was changed to another one before they paid, and it didn't quite work 100%, did it?
No, that's just true. It's true.
Which I can't remember quite what went wrong, but it's not doing that one properly. So I think that's just that's something that just needs to be done, because it's not correct at the moment.
Right. Okay. I thought the reason might be that the renewal process had already started, and I go along and make that change in the middle of it, and of course it ignores me, what I've done, and carries on asking for the money up front.
Yes, that is right. Is because it's already sent an email out saying give us the £15 or whatever it is, and therefore at that point is expecting the payment of £15 because that's what the links says.
I had a word with my chair, and she wrote back very nicely saying, I said, oh, well, I won't make any changes like this again. And he said, no, Alan, carry on making sensible changes, but perhaps do it before the renewal starts.
Right.
Yeah.
If you know about them.
Yes, yes. But I thought about it earlier, but everybody likes the idea.
Do what we did a couple of years ago, Alan. One membership type, single member, that's it.
Yeah, yes. Now that's what we had. But these are like special people who founded our U3A. Why should they pay when we've done it? They pay for 20 years, that sort of thing.
Ah, there you go.
You think we should pay? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, too right.
Yes.
Okay, let's just go on. This is an issue where when a member is reinstated after suspension, whether the group leaders all get an email saying that the person has been reinstated. I don't know. Do they? I mean, they don't. Should they? Because they get a note saying when they're being suspended.
They also see it on their screen, don't they?
Well, they do.
Yeah, they go red at the bottom. Yes.
The member has been suspended for a reason, and chances are that reason is they were too damn slow renewing their membership. So it's their problem, not the system's problem. You've caused the grief. You sort the grief out.
When a member's suspended, does it allow the group leader to add another member so that if the suspended member was then reinstated, you'd be over subscribed?
Yes, that's right. You could lose your place. That's right.
Well, the group leader always has the option to override the numbers.
Yeah.
It's you know, if he says there's 15 and they have 18, the system doesn't object.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that maybe that's the reason why they should be notified when somebody comes back into the group. But if it didn't affect that oversubscription bit, then there's no need to notify.
Well, I mean, I think it would G some of them up because we have the serial offenders that don't pay that pay late. You know, so if suddenly they lost their place in some group that's oversubscribed, it'd be good, I think.
Yeah.
When we come to renewals, we always make it clear that when it gets to the 1st of September, if they haven't renewed, they are suspended. If you are suspended, it's possible you will lose your place in the group.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And they still get suspended.
So perhaps, Chris, it'd worth look. I don't know whether this happened. So if they did, if the leader did add one, say it was already a maximum of 10, say, and one of them was suspended, so now there's 9, so there's one free space. If they did add one off the waiting list, what would happen to the one that was currently suspended when he paid his subscription?
He's never not made a member. He's still a member. He just happens to be a suspended member.
No, but I mean, what would happen if he pays the membership fee? Would he go back into the group then, even though it's 10, even though it's maximum?
Yeah.
He would, so it'd go to 11.
It would go to 11. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that's the because the group leaders let somebody else in, and in fact, I think they would be told. I think suspended members are still in the list. So if they've got 10, they'll be told there's 10, and therefore they go onto the waiting list. Any new
right, so they're still counted in the number of members, even though they're suspended.
So if they then come along and allow somebody else to come in, they'll be already going over their 10 because the suspended member is still
technically counted. Yeah.
Yes, until they're deleted, and then it's different.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't think we've decided. I mean, whether there should be whether the GLs, the group leaders, should be informed or not.
Well, what do the GLs get anyway at the moment?
Nothing.
So if someone's deleted, they're not told.
Well, if they're deleted from the UTA, yes, they are.
Yes.
But presumably, shouldn't they be told if someone's been suspended? For if this person
They
turns
do.
up,
They do get told when they're suspended, but they
Oh,
don't
if
get
they-
told
well,
when
if
they're
they-
reinstated.
oh well, if they're told that they're suspended, then they should be told that then they're unsuspended.
Well, the whole point is that they have that information online.
That's
It's
right. It's there.
Yeah, yes, you're right, but I'm not so sure how many of my group leaders are too concerned. I mean, I think I personally think it would be good for them to be told when somebody has, if you like, rejoined the flock by paying their money.
I think it's less issue than it is that they're suspended, because they
Yeah.
should be excluded from the group, whereas they'll turn up again. He could easily check to say, well, should they be in it? And the answer would be yes, because he's no longer in red in the suspended list. I don't feel that they need, personally, I don't feel that they need telling.
I did find, Chris, that we've just finished our suspend and delete, and the group leaders were told about suspend, but they weren't told about delete it.
I think that deleting you can override yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can tick the box if you don't want the group leader to know. But then automatically, if you delete somebody from a group, sorry, if you delete somebody from U3A, the leader, if they're still in a group, the leader will be informed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't forget, when you just click delete suspended, you don't do it individually. We just run the whole 20 were deleted.
Yes, that's right, and it will send out lots of emails to group leaders and things to say their members are now being removed from the group.
I don't think that happened, Chris.
Didn't it?
No, I think the membership secretary got a list. That's not a problem. They got a list. I don't think the leaders were informed. It's only just happened.
Well, you should be able, if you go into you're using Google Workspace, Alan.
Yes.
If you go into there and have a look to see that whether it was sent, you should be able to read the email.
Right. I would also see it in bulk email, wouldn't I?
You should
bulk
do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why
or
I'm
in
saying
email history, yeah.
Yeah.
I will check it up. I will check it to see whether that's the case or not.
Yeah.
Certainly happens if you delete somebody individually. Yeah, that's for sure.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes. Right. Okay. Okay, and then the right, yeah. Actually, the bottom thing is linked to that. Remove any outstanding payments when a suspended member deleted.
Well, it does remove the membership fee, 'cause I just checked.
Yes. No, I don't think it's that. Is
Must be the subscription.
If there
I
are,
hope you mean charges, not payments.
yes,
Yes, charges. Yes.
outstanding payments.
So in
yeah.
other words, when you've deleted, if you've not paid your membership fee, it will take that. Will then
Yeah,
zero that
basically,
off.
you don't want to leave any outstanding debts, if you like, when you've just taken somebody out, because they'll still sit in their overdue payments and this sort of thing, even after
Right.
they've deleted.
Can you change that to remove to reverse?
Yeah.
It just say it is reverse.
Yeah, no,
No, because the accountants will get all upset
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
no,
delete things. Yeah.
it doesn't delete any financial transactions.
yeah,
They're all.
It's a credit it comes in as.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
it's a credit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Okay. Right, and then the one in the middle there was paying into bank. Somebody asked for rather than
I think our person that looks after the checks and cash would be very grateful for that, because I mean obviously there's quite a lot with subscriptions.
Okay, it's just a select all feature,
Yes.
which you just click them all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay, so those are all the things. What we really need to know is how many of those we're going to do. I can have a go at them all, but it will take me longer to do to get it together. Or are there some things that are more urgent than others? But to be honest, listening to it, it didn't sound as though anything was particularly urgent in that list that we went through.
Not really, no.
You know, they're desirables, but
Nothing show stopping, is it?
no, nothing. You know, So so I would suggest that what I try and do is to try and put a program together with all those in, and and it'll take a few months to work through. But
I mean, the single day option for group sounds as though it'd be popular anyway, if that's
Yeah.
relatively quick too.
yeah,
Chris, wouldn't it be better to focus on getting everybody on 14.3?
yeah, absolutely. It is my priority, but as far as I'm concerned now, I've pretty much got. I'm happy to put anybody across to 14.3 who wants to do it.
I'm thinking of any teething issues. You can allow yourself some time for there to be any bugs or any.
Absolutely, I know that would take priority over any of this. Yeah, because obviously 14.3 is the most important, and it was something I was going to ask at the end. Really, who wants to go? Who is everybody happy? Who's on the call to go across to 14.3?
Well, we're waiting in Porthmadog just because of the transition I mentioned at the beginning.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when, Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's no issue because I mean you've changed us over and nothing's happened really because we're not
No.
using the new one.
No, it's
You don't release the mobile.
everything is
Did
switched
you
off.
not have the problem with subscriptions?
Not had any. No, there's been no issue with subscriptions.
Well, because I've reversed him as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
And now, fortunately, because it's not the end, it's not the beginning of a new term. Nobody had really done many. There might be the odd one. That's all.
Oh, ours do it monthly.
Right. God, you'll hear even more than us.
Yeah.
Well, from my point of view, Chris, the paying this group financial page is the important one for us, and we would like to have that before September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any?
That's the change of start month? Yeah.
Is there any other items down there that anybody says they'd like to have? Let's say by September, that we should sort of prioritise and put the others on a slightly slower thing.
I think perhaps the links with auto login sounds good.
The file
Yeah.
size, Chris. That's one thing that we'd like.
The which, sorry?
The file size up to 10 meg.
Or for which particular ones?
The wanting more information in particular.
The more information ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
the with the magnifying glass, because the risk assessment now we have to include routes that we take when we've done outdoor things. And
Okay. Someone mentioned newsletter earlier. I think it was Tony, wasn't it?
All right.
Earlier. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, newsletters. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would be quite happy to work the group financials page again.
To what, sorry?
To redo the group financials page.
Or to rewrite it?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Well,
You're just trying to improve your skills, aren't you?
you can concentrate on the other things then.
Okay. Yes, fine. I'm happy. Obviously, as we said, there's only yourself and Nigel that's using it. So
yeah.
As long as you keep him happy.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, I'd throw it over the wall to you rather than do anything else with it. So.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. I've no.
I think the email templates would be useful, Chris.
The which? Sorry.
The templates for the emails.
Yeah, with the auto login, so they go straight,
Yeah.
direct, do things. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we'll have to have a look because I think probably we're going to have. I'll need to have a look at that and work out exactly what that means, and so I'll have a look at that and come back to you on that then.
Okay. While I've got Alan here, I've got two ladies looking at SiteWorks. And
I beg your pardon. Oh, SiteWorks. Yeah.
And they're telling me, oh, now we've got a working new system. Why haven't we got nice, whizzy, fading pictures coming in and out? And I'm told you've tried this. How do I get it to work?
What, you mean a scrolling picture gallery?
That's it.
So who's typing?
Yes,
Laurie,
whoever.
Sorry, me again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
stop tapping on your head, Laurie. Yeah, I'll send. Well, I found one yesterday that works quite well. Chris has said that you could use the one that is the banner revolving jobby.
Which you're looking at the moment.
Am I?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yes, I am. Sorry, I didn't notice that was changing. There's that one, and there's also one that Richard has got that I struggled with that one, I must admit. Richard's works fine on his system, but it threw up all kinds of problems for me. I don't know why. Probably me. So, yes, I'll send you a couple of scripts, Alan.
I would prefer you use the one in the system if possible. Not use the other one.
What I used is the one that Chris originally had the script for in the system.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can. I haven't got that one. I'll have to drag it from the page, but
Yeah. So it's pictures. It's not really a moving ticker tape or anything like that. It's more pictures faded in and out.
Well, so what are you after then, Alan? Alan, not Alan L.
Alan Sutton.
Yes.
Yeah, to have you can put a picture on the new site, but I'd like then it to be replaced by a second picture and a third picture.
Well, that's what that does at the top there.
That's a carousel.
Yeah, but not in the banner, in the actual main.
No, in a block. It'd be in a block.
Yeah, no, we're not saying in the banner there, Alan. We're just saying the software that does it.
Yeah.
Is already in the system.
Right. Okay. Well, if you can tell me where to find it, I can have a go.
I'll send you all out a set of instructions on how to use. I think it's called BJGS, as I remember. But
okay. Thank you.
Right. So look. So but other than Alan, is everybody else happy to go to 14.3? Oh.
Yeah, because we can activate it whenever we want, can't we?
Yeah. It basically, as Neil says, you probably won't notice any difference, but it's there under your control then for when you want to use it thereafter. So perhaps I'd like to do it as a default and say that I'll put everybody over to 14.3 over the next sort of week or so, except Wrexham. No, not Wrexham, Portmaddock, unless you tell me you don't want me to do that.
No, it's fine with us.
Okay.
We've had it for probably a couple of weeks now, and we don't use any of the cost functions, so I can't say on that, but nothing else has been an issue.
Well, to be honest, there's very little change other than the website creator and the the switch, and it's automatically set to switch it off. So you have to consciously go and switch it on if you wanted.
But at the moment, we've still got it operating as the original 14.2 or previous. But what I've done is create all the web pages in the test system, then copy the code into the live system, so I'm not creating everything twice. And at the end of this week, beginning of next, I'll probably switch it over.
And you've made a very nice job of it as well. I think it looks really nice.
Thank you. I hope that Matt, you can be a member.
Chris, I noticed one thing I did notice that when we went to 14.3 was that you'd left some of the extra pages, beyond 12 shown that I've had to turn off. If you could just check.
You're telling me they 12? Oh,
past 12. I think 20 was on for one on everything.
Was it?
Yes. So they should all be set to not shown, shouldn't they, for when you first update people?
Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure that happens. Yes, John. Yes, I know you tend to be a bit more cautious, don't you? Fine. Okay, I won't put Congleton in up unless you ask me to.
We'll be okay at Berry, I think. We'll just switch it off first of all. But
it comes on switched off.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we'll be, yes.
I think there's a couple of venue features that we need anyway. The deleting venues and display, map display, so it'd be useful.
Yeah, does anybody else have trouble with the actual location? Because they somehow the Eastings and Northings don't quite line up with where they are. They're sort of like a few yards away. If I specifically,
are you talking about venues?
Yes, if I specifically go on to a program to show you exactly the Eastings and Northings of a place, like I can put the front door down, and then I put them into U3A web. When I actually do it, they're not actually where I've placed them. Chris said it thinks it's a Google issue, didn't you, Chris?
No, I don't. No, I don't think it is actually now. I looked it up. And I haven't actually managed to look at it in any detail, but I looked it up, and there's a new third-party bit of software which provides it, and it's obviously not. It's now what's it converting? It's converting the eastings and northings to long and lat, I think, and obviously it's not doing
Not quite right. Yeah.
quite well. I haven't been able to confirm that. Obviously,
Right.
I know I've sort of got your example, but
Yeah. I mean, it's not it's not
I don't think
far
it's-
away, but because you can get them right by the front door.
yeah.
Does that explain why ours crashes then?
Does it?
Our
Oh,
venue
ours
lists
works all right.
Crash. Oh, I've just checked today. When
You're
we
not in the
talked
middle
about
of the
it earlier.
Atlantic, are you? Because we had that once.
No, it crashes. It complains that it can't
Oh,
convert
right.
the northings and
So
I only noticed today.
Can you just do it on postcode? You need the eastings.
You can, but it's not as accurate.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest, it looks like yours is Neil's working on a postcode rather than.
I tried taking that off, but it didn't seem to make any difference.
No, to be honest, I haven't really looked at it in
Yeah.
any detail. I will do.
Yes, it could be the postcode. You're right, because that does put you in sort of just a general block.
That could explain it because
Yeah.
it's within the
It's
area.
taking
where
absolutely no notice of the eastern and northern.
Yeah. I'll check it. I'll
Yeah.
check that. Okay, right. Does anybody else?
Workspace and
Time's gone. We've had a couple of hours, so I think probably. I was just going to ask about workspace and BT spams, whether or not there are people are having issues with those at the moment.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and us.
Sorry, could you repeat that, Chris?
With workspace, there's some spam emails are getting through, particularly this a lower price thing, which is we've had it before, and
contact us, you mean?
yes,
Yeah.
through Contact Us,
Right.
and we stopped it before. Now obviously they've now found another route through. So what I need to do when this happens is just, which I've done for Alan Sutton today, is to find the IP address from which it arrives, and then I just put it into a banned list, and it stops them coming.
Yeah, you did it for us too, Chris.
Yes, but obviously I think that same person has moved on and is using different IP addresses and trying it again. So if you find any, if you do get those sorts of things, let me know, and I'll chase them, and I'll put them on the banned list.
Is that maybe what crashed our dispatch last night or yesterday morning? Because it did. Google, the admin did say it had been suspended because of spam.
Yeah.
At about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, and of course you haven't got the sign on to go and just
No,
put it back on again.
Yeah.
No,
Are you the deputy? But
I've put it back on. Been able to turn it back on. I just can't get in to see the emails.
So how did you turn it back on then? If you couldn't
Oh,
get in?
because I've got admin privileges, but admin you can't change the password on dispatch without it sending a message to Nick's phone, and he's in Albania.
Oh right. Oh, I didn't know that. So
It's two-factor authentication.
so you've got to have a super admin then to actually do that. Then have you?
Well,
I don't know.
It still sends a message to the recovery
Yeah.
phone.
Yes.
Next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But you can set it up.
And of course, we've all got to have two-part admin by September, isn't it? I had an email from them today. Anyone with admin
Probably.
authority.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had emails today.
Yeah.
From somebody telling me that. Yes.
I
Yeah.
think I've had an email but forgotten about it.
So anyway, basically, if you are getting any problems, let me know, and I'll hopefully, if I can identify the IP address from which it's come from, I'll stop them.
Well, this
Well,
week,
certainly all the Russian ones have stopped.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's a bit like painting the fourth bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
As soon as you ban them, there they come back again a few months later.
teeth of the Hydra it is.
Yeah, and that.
the Russian ones have been sent to Siberia to fix their planes.
And BT were having some problems. I mean, no, BT, some people with BT addresses were having problems, which I think a couple of you have managed to sort out, haven't you?
Yeah, well, there's an issue with BT if you press reply to, if you're in their app, it doesn't work properly. So it goes back to dispatch.
Oh, no,
Takes
I don't
no
know
notice of the reply to in the email.
No,
That's a known problem
Yeah.
by BT and has been for years,
Yeah.
and they never managed to fix it.
I did have one the other day that I tried out on my father's email address, but as soon as I said it was a safe sender, it didn't do it again.
Mm.
Well,
I think
It's getting the member to do that somehow.
Yeah. Neil, I think you're saying that if they hit reply, it
Yeah,
ignores the reply
goes to the
address.
dispatch address. Despite having a reply to address in the email.
Yeah, that's a known problem with BT, and they.
But it's only on their app. It's all right from if you're using it through Outlook or Thunderbird or whatever.
Yeah.
That wasn't quite the issue I was raising.
No.
But,
We went off on a tangent.
I think some have been having problems when
Not delivered.
BT weren't dealing with them, and I know certainly Congleton was one. They got in touch with BT, and BT pretty much sorted it out immediately.
Yeah, we had that at Bury as well. Yeah,
I had a similar problem when you changed the server, but it was like a credit card rating. It reset it, and it had to.
Well, we've got that problem, and I've been in touch with BT, and I'm waiting for a reply.
Right. Okay. But they certainly. Oh, I'm surprised you were actually having to wait because I think the response was quite quick, wasn't it, from the other?
Yeah.
Congleton got a quick response. I had to wait a week.
Right.
Well, the next day, I think it was really good.
Well, anyway, if you want, I know, as I say, I know Congleton gone through it. We're pleased with the outcome. So if there's somebody to try, Eugene did it. If nobody else can tell you.
Yeah, well, because I saw it on the administrator's form what he did, so I printed it out. So I've got it as.
All right. Okay.
And use that. So yeah.
So just a thought for everybody who's on the call. Anyway.
Isn't the key to this knowing who to contact at BT?
Yeah, well, I think that's the point. I think that's what Eugene found, who to contact.
And is that in the forum? Do you think that's in the forum?
It's just
There's details that's in the forum, I think.
I think it's postmaster at bt.com or something.
Yeah, pretty
much. If you go through the administrators forum, you'll see a full description from him, what he did.
I think it's btinternet.com. Postmaster at BT.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Well, we'll have a try. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Anything else anybody else wants to raise? Right. Okay. I'll come back with a bit more information on these developments, and as I say, I'll start on the process of getting everybody across to 14.3. Right. Unless you tell me not to. Okay.
Okay, Chris. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.